Okay, so this is a nice little vault build that I have created. I call it the quad buffer build because every single one of his abilities has some form of buff or positive additive that can benefit your teammates and yourself. This is the build here. The shock trooper and the capacitance is absolutely necessary. This is not absolutely necessary. Do not ask me why this is not there. Molt efficiency is not 100% necessary, but it is extremely nice to have. And energize is not super necessary if you have Archon shards that increase energy orb effectiveness. But if not, then this is just nice to have. As far as the aura is concerned, that's completely up to you. I just use it because I enjoy rifles. And that's really about it. We're not overly worried about efficiency because of energize and Archon stretch, where electric damage restores 2 energy over 5 seconds. That will constantly be active because we will be using Doriga. And Doriga has a mod called Arc Coil, which counts as an ability and does actually proc Archon Stretch. So aside from that, we're going to just jump in and show off how stupid this build is. Your first ability is just basic shock. However, if you cast this at your feet, I think, it gives you a huge electric damage buff. So that's already 1 damage buff. If you use Nourish, which is this is the one that I've gone for. This also makes energy less of a problem because this improves energy orb pickup. The shields are a buff in itself where you put one of them down and it will give you 50% extra damage of electricity, which will combine with your weapon damage. So if you're running a single element like Toxin, it will combine and make corrosive. But if you put 2 of them down, it will cap up to 100%, making you a lot more deadly, I suppose. And if you electrify the shields by using your your first ability on your shields, it will electrify the shields, making it so enemies that walk through it get stunned. And your discharge, this is where capacitance comes in. This is your last second save and your crowd control usage. When you use capacitance against enemies that are quite grouped up, which most Steel Path missions kind of are, which is the point of this build, by the way, forgot to mention. Capacitance will completely overcharge your overshields, like completely max them out. The closer the enemies are, the better, because you have more nuking capabilities, or at least health reduction. For this, we are going to take Doriga off, though, because we just don't need him right now. Not for the test. Okay. So, we're just going to have them on pause for now, just to show off a few things. First off, I know I've got Overguard, that was from previous testing. But if you look at my shield, it says 555. If we use our triangle, our fourth, you can see our Overguard or Overshield is now at 1750, just from one cast, and they're all just bunched together. Normally, our weapon of choice is completely down to the user. I've gone for the comm just because this thing is broken. Without any abilities, it still absolutely shreds. But if we factor in our first ability, our Nourish ability, put a couple of shields down, and then use it, you can see the results are quite stupid. So yeah, this is definitely more used as a camping build than a roaming build. You can use it as a roaming build, but obviously we've got rid of Volt's signature move being the I am speed, but we've replaced it with a pretty decent one. If you're interested in camping, that is. Yeah, like I said, you can use it for roaming if you want, but this is more of a camping style sort of build. On the plus side, this works endgame, Steel Path, whatever, without Archon Shards, so Archon Shards are completely up to you. The only other ability that I would recommend putting on here, at least for camping, is Zata's Whisper from Zaku's 1. Just because that's another damage boost in itself and works extraordinarily well with certain weapons like the Exegus or the Felarx. Probably a few others in there definitely. But yeah, that's the build I went for. And yeah, if you're interested in my fashion, here's a little look. But yeah, I hope this reaches the correct audience. Hope you enjoyed. But like I said, this can be done with any weapon because of the amount of buffs that are going on. If you want to improve your damage even further, what you could even do is get a weapon that only has one element, because you will be combining it with Electric Shield and of course Shock Trooper from Shock, which will mix with the current element on your weapon and turn Toxin into Corrosive or Fire into Radiation. And you know, whatever you like. But it depends on what you go up against, so if this is the build for you, then I guess have some fun with it. It's not super difficult to make. The only genuinely quite important thing in here that is kind of annoying to have is probably primed sure-footed. However, if you're behind a shield, you don't have to really worry about having this, but it more or less comes down to how you play or if you have this or not. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Yeah.